Ask not what we all be can do for you. Ask what you can do for we all be.
I also want to ask you before I get on, Malcolm Shabazz, the grandson of Malcolm X. It's been over a year now since he has died in international territory in Mexico City under mysterious circumstances. And you being a person in law, order, and also your background and investigative things such as James Earl Ray, MLK matter, what is your take on that, like the lack of awareness about what happened to him and follow-up?
Well, there was a case that started out in the Ninth Circuit in California.
Mm-hmm.
And at first I thought it was a case, but it turned out not to be. What it was all about was a father who was an American-born citizen was concerned that the executive branch had decided to assassinate him. So the judge thought it was crazy until the Justice Department admitted that was the fact. They took the position that the executive branch has the authority to legally order any person, American citizen or otherwise, assassinated if in their sole opinion they concluded that the person was a threat to the country, even if that person had never committed a crime cognizable or indictable or chargeable in the United States of America or elsewhere. And they even alleged to be done if the person was inside the continental United States. So the thing that gets me, administration right now is openly stating that they have a right to kill American citizens they disagree with. That is a deep, dark rabbit hole to fall down. Now, the subject, by the way, of this initial lawsuit was beneficiary of an injunction that was issued by the court. Well, the U.S. government violated that injunction and assassinated the native-born American citizen who was in his 40s and also later on assassinated his 16-year-old son, a native-born American citizen.
Wow.
Now, that's reported, and if you search online, you can find copies of the transcripts on that. So I can't remember the name of the case right now, but that is something to keep in mind. And when you take into context what the Hoover administration, as in J. Edgar, was doing illegally,
right,
and that in the context of the fact that under Homeland Security, Patriot Act, it is now legal, that is food for thought. And we're so busy trying to give away our privacy, do social media, let everybody know our business, brag about it, pathetic though it may be or not. You know, it's a shame. It's really a shame.
Thank you, Judge. I got one more caller from the Baltimore area. I think it's Sister Sabrina Green. Sister Sabrina, are you there?
Yes, greetings.
Welcome to VIP. It's always a pleasure to have you on. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing okay. Just wow, there's so many questions, but there's only so limited time that you can. Very, very interesting discussion. And I wanted to ask this question about with Malcolm Shabazz. You know, we have put in place, and when I say Malcolm Shabazz, that's Malcolm X's grandson, his oldest grandson, put in place ever since we found out about his death. A sister put up a Facebook, and she had been getting threats, and another sister came up with evidence. To make it quick, we suspect, we could see quite clearly that Malcolm was lured to Mexico. And unfortunately, the situation there were so many different stories that say, you know, what happened to him that. But, however, what we could also see was that he was isolated, set up to be in Mexico. And it's quite interesting what you just said about, you know, when we were termed COINTELPRO. And I think it was about a week or so before President Obama was in Mexico beforehand. And we look and see that whatever happened there with his killing, and with this so-called bar tab and being thrown off a building and Tijuana versus Mexico City, it's, angles that just thrown out there to make like a disbelief in trying to find the truth. So we're demanding an investigation where we had let us go to John Kerry, meaning a petition, and now at this point we're having a paper petition to get more awareness going to Obama. And I have filed for a Freedom of Information Act and it's an appeal at this time frame. So I would ask, what else can we do on this? Because, we did bring this question up to Baba Dick Gregory, and he said, we need to make this worldwide in attention. And if we take, this is similar to what happened to his grandfather, where it's found years later that we found out of how, yes, it looked like, that so-called Muslims that were involved to have him killed, but the whole setup of it, the lure of it, happened, with the government of planning the killing, like what it is with Martin Luther King. So at this point, what can we do at this point to draw the attention? Because I'm still getting people that don't realize that he was killed.
Thank you, sister.
Well, let me just suggest, considering what you can get done through social media that's just frivolous, stupid, or downright ignorant, you can get done if it is about something. And I think perhaps someone should astutely use social media to advertise what you're talking about and bring it to the public's attention and attempt to get a consensus that this should stop, and then start raising hell about it. It's a political thing. The squeaky wheel gets the grease.
Yeah, I'll close it. I want to ask you two. Go ahead, sir.
I'll go back a long way, and what I'm seeing is a reversion. I saw some high points that hit mid-70s, early 80s, their mid-90s, and now we're sinking back again. I talked about officials and others acting like they had cojones, not acting that way, and it's too much not acting that way, and the public needs to be a bit more concerned about substantial reality than distractions and entertainment.